If you've been using quick counter and struggling to create clear chances, this 4-2-1-3 setup might completely change your gameplay. Because this isn't just a formation, it's a complete system designed to create fast, direct attacks with consistent goal-scoring opportunities. And in this video, I'll show you exactly how I set it up, and more importantly, why every position works. So this is my 4-2-1-3 formation. Now at first glance, it looks very common. But the real difference is how each position behaves during transitions. This setup is built specifically for quick counter. So the moment you win the ball, the entire team is already prepared to attack immediately. And that's what makes this system so dangerous.
Split-second reaction. Really looked sharp there, didn't he? That's very well played. Neymar, and the shot! Goal!
Let's start with the goalkeeper. I always use the defensive goalkeeper, and the reason is simple. I want my goalkeeper focused mainly on positioning and shot stopping. In this setup, defensive stability is very important. So instead of rushing out too often, the goalkeeper stays composed, protects the box, and handles close-range situations better. This also helps reduce unnecessary mistakes, especially against players who rely on quick finishes inside the area. And honestly, having that calm presence at the back makes the defense feel much more secure.
Can be absolutely crucial. Yeah, and Barcelona are in front now. The game's only... And Berbatov! Since before a ball was kicked, and I still haven't moved. He's been picked out. He's had a hit!
Now moving to the back line, I use two attacking fullbacks. And I know a lot of players avoid this. Most people prefer one attacking fullback and one defensive fullback. But in this system, using two attacking fullbacks helps massively during transitions. Here's why. The moment you win the ball, your fullbacks are already in advanced positions. So instead of building slowly, you instantly have width, passing options, and support in attack. For the center backs, I use a build-up defender on the left and a destroyer on the right. The build-up defender helps you play calmly from the back, while the destroyer is more aggressive, pressing, tackling, and winning duels. So one player brings control, while the other brings aggression. And that balance is extremely important.
They really needed it. Oh, that's brilliantly defended, though. It looked destined for a... Hoisted in. That's been cut out. Well played. Rodri. And he's intervened well there. Just a quarter of an hour to play. Interesting ball.
Now let's talk about the midfield, because this is where your counters truly begin. Lock DMF, anchorman. My DMF is always an anchorman, and this role is extremely important, because while your fullbacks are pushing forward, somebody has to stay disciplined. And that's exactly what the anchorman does. They stay in front of the defense, protect the back line, and sometimes even drop between the center backs. They don't move around too much, and honestly, that's exactly what you want. This player is basically your safety net. Direct hit CMF, orchestrator/creative playmaker. Next to him, I use a CMF, usually an orchestrator or a creative playmaker, like Pedri. This role is very demanding. They need to support attacks, but also recover defensively. So you need someone with good passing, high stamina, and decent defensive awareness. Because after joining the attack, they must recover quickly. And that's what keeps the midfield balanced.
Super running, sharp movement. Came up against a defender, though, who was ever so determined. Hazard can so cleverly by... Well, that tackle was certainly sturdy. There's the shot!
Now this is the most important position in the entire setup, the AMF. Everything flows through this player. They connect the midfield to the attack. And the way they move completely changes how effective your counters become. Option 1, dummy runner. If you use a dummy runner, like Roll, they'll drop deep, receive the ball, connect passes, and then suddenly make forward runs. This becomes very useful if your striker likes dropping deep, because the dummy runner will attack the space your striker leaves behind. Option 2. Whole player. But most of the time, I prefer using a whole player, like Mateus. And that's because of how dangerous they are between the lines. They receive the ball, turn quickly, and drive directly at the defense. They don't just pass, they carry the ball forward aggressively. And in quick counter, that becomes extremely dangerous. Now for the wingers. I use prolific wingers on both sides. And this part is very important. They must be direct players. You don't want wingers constantly drifting inside or dropping too deep. You want players that stay wide, stretch the pitch, and create space. Because whenever the middle becomes crowded, you always have a wide option available. They also need pace and high offensive awareness, so they can run behind defenders and create chances quickly.
What you've got to realize, Peter, is that they won't get away with excessive force for long, so they're running a fine line now. Barcelona have
Finally, the striker. I use an advanced forward, someone that constantly attacks the space behind defenders. Most of the time, I use Gabriel Batistuta. He has strong finishing, good positioning, and can also link play when needed. And that combination makes him perfect for quick counter football.
Was immaculate. And it didn't take him long. Just big chance! He's also proved in recent times that smashing head.
Now let me show you how everything connects together. The moment I win the ball, the anchor man secures possession. Quick pass into midfield, then immediately into the AMF. From there, it's either a through pass to the winger or a forward run from the striker. And within seconds, I'm already in a goal-scoring position. That's the real power of this setup. It transforms defense into attack almost instantly.
This is Messi. Great chance!
Of course, this setup still has risks. Since both fullbacks are attacking, you can get exposed if you lose the ball carelessly. So your decision-making has to be quick, calm, and accurate.
Yeah, we see this so often these days, but it does demand an awful lot of shapes to shoot! Atalanta have the chance to go the other way. That's a shade optimistic. Now the finish!
But if you use it properly, this 4-2-1-3 setup becomes extremely effective for quick counter. Try it out for yourself and let me know your results. And if you want more tactical breakdowns like this, don't forget to subscribe.
That's very well played. Neymar and the shot!